also make sure that I'm tapped into different resources so that when I'm sharing information, I have a larger breadth of information. It's important that we're connected to the business in a way that when we're sharing the success stories, the leader is leaning in. So for us, we have exposure to a lot of people. We have exposure to a lot of information. There's some information that I will take back that won't resonate as much with my leaders. So I have to be very specific about the takeaways that I know will really pique their interest. The most important part, though, is the blend. When you have the external data and you have the internal data, blend it as part of the storytelling. And that really helps, again, with the leaders leaning in. And if you need to give yourself some time to have some internal data to blend in, by all means, do so.
And how do you move them to, hey, we got to get on board?
Yeah, so we focus on what are some of the blockers to succession planning. Some of the blockers are leaders hear succession planning and they're thinking, oh, you want me gone. You don't see me having value in the organization anymore. And that's not the case, because succession planning is long-term. And many times we're developing individuals and they're not even being developed for the successor's role. Later on, we find out that they have different skills that would be better suited in different parts of the organization. And so helping the leaders understand that it's not about you and you leaving the organization, it's about having bench strength and having individuals who can do your role temporarily or one day in the future.
There's something about being in that little square on Zoom that gives a little bit more power than being in front of individuals. And even for the organizations who are back in person or back hybrid, there's a lot more feedback that we're getting from employees. And the best leaders, the leaders that are thriving, are the ones who are listening, but also asking for more. Asking for the feedback, actively getting that feedback, and ensuring that that is being incorporated. The other call out I'd like for you to think about is workloads. I'm leading a resilience project currently, and one of the things that I hear from teams is, everything is urgent, everything is needed now, there's too much on my plate, we're doing more with less, and I need support. And support does not always mean more people, and we also know that it's rare that we make a hire quickly. So how can we assess the employees that we have, their workload, and how can we ensure, one, that they're working on the right things? Because many times when I pause to talk to employees about where are you spending your time, their priority was a priority previously. We have shifted, and they have somehow brought this priority along with them. So I encourage you to ensure that you have that two-way communication and you're asking those questions. This is not something that comes overnight. I don't believe there's anyone who, is in kindergarten and they're a great resilient leader. I truly believe it's a muscle that we build. And I truly believe that sometimes we have to unlearn what we have learned to be able to be resilient leaders in the workplace. Each meeting, I would rotate the names of the members of the team. So a different individual would start. And those meetings meant everyone shared. We never got to the point of someone having a 10-minute block of making their point, and then another individual said, nope, nothing to add. Everyone had the opportunity to share. Everyone had kind of the overnight or the 24-hour period to be able to prepare what they will be shared. We're all doing really good work. The members of our teams are doing really good work, but are we making the space to recognize what's most important to them, where they need support, and how can we shift how they work?